We are gathered here together to
Remember the
join
old
Franklin
joke?
and Marissa.
Don't do it.
The one they sold us for decades? That marriage was the end. The final curtain. The moment a man's life officially stopped being his own. The trap. The thing men ran from.
She'll make his life a beautiful dream until she marries him.
And if you were a woman who wanted it...
Come on! Bullshit for every woman that has been told by some man that he doesn't believe in marriage, and then 6 months later, he's married to some 24-year-old that he met at a gym. It's bullshit!
Where is this coming from?
It's coming from the place that I've been hiding from you for about 5 years.
Okay.
About 5 years, because I haven't wanted to seem demanding, and I haven't wanted to seem clingy or psycho or whatever. So I haven't asked you. Are you ever gonna marry me?
You learn to keep your mouth shut. Women learn to play it cool, to pretend they didn't want it, to let him decide when he was ready.
And I don't want to give you an ultimatum. I don't, so please don't think that's what I'm doing.
Because marriage was presented as men giving up their freedom, independence, and debauchery for the sake of one woman.
Now, do you, Pluto, promise that you will wash the windows, paint the house, mop the floors, obey your spouse, do the laundry, feed the cat, mow the lawn, and stuff like that? Give up smoking, never chew, pay your bills before they're due, never argue, never roam, spend each single night at home?
No, that's not for me.
It was always set up as a loss.
Marriage, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all act like you going to the electric chair or something.
Before marriage, men are seen as spontaneous and unburdened, able to travel, pursue pleasure, spend money freely, and maintain multiple romantic possibilities. Friendships revolve around leisure, nights out, drinking, or flirting. This framing positions the woman as the agent of that loss. The wife figure is associated with rules, expectations, and surveillance.
Who are you with, Michael?
Why are you giving Larry money?
What?
I know everything. I talked to the accountant. It's that you're lending your father money without telling me while your record company's going bankrupt and we're on the verge of losing our fucking house!
What would be a good time for you, Mark?
There's just some things that I still want to do.
Like what? Be a rock star? Grow up. If I have to wait for you to become Kurt Cobain, I'm never gonna be a mother.
When she tries to hold her husband accountable for promises made to her, to themselves, to the life they agreed to build together, she becomes an obstacle, standing between him and the habits that once defined his independence.
I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
All her complaints get reduced to nagging and dismissed, especially by men who never intended to uphold their end of the deal. But something's shifted.
A growing number of American women are choosing to remain single rather than settling for unsatisfying relationships. Now,
why women don't want to get married or why women don't want to have children is because this society is not women-friendly. The society is not child-friendly.
According to new research, the secret to happiness is to never put a ring on it. That's right, never get married.
Oh, wow.
A study says that women who are never married and they don't have kids are the most content, and they actually outlive their peers who are married and have kids.
Women peeped game and started putting each other on.
I finally put my dusty out. Now I'm focusing on healing and leveling up. I know that's right, Regina. Kick that dust to the curb, girl. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
They began sharing honest accounts of marriage that weren't softened or romanticized, the daily reality, the labor it takes to keep one functioning, and the uncomfortable truth that even when you do everything right, it still may not work in your favor. Meanwhile, research was catching up to what women were already living. The idea that marriage was inherently beneficial to women started to be publicly and scientifically dismantled. all of it unfolding alongside women gaining financial independence and advancing their education. The narrative of the lonely spinster was dead. Women were no longer shamed into coupling. They were publicly documenting full, happy, independent lives on their own terms. The absence of a husband was no longer framed as a failure, but as a valid and sometimes preferable outcome.
Study after study is showing that loneliness is on the rise and men are being hit especially hard.
The male loneliness epidemic.
That there is a loneliness epidemic now when it comes to men, single men.
Growing concern over what's happening with boys and young men in America, falling behind in school, struggling to connect, often feeling lost.
But many men weren't building new forms of connections to replace what they had lost. Instead, they retreated into the manosphere, a space that often reframes their isolation as injustice, but rarely equips them with the tools they actually need to change it. So rather than resolving the loneliness, it deepens it. Without the structure that wives often provided, many of the things once framed as symbols of male freedom began to look more like vices and dysfunction. So now the tone has changed.
No. No.
It's no use, Joe.
Please
Joe, we've got to have it out.
No,
I have loved you ever since I've known you, Joe. I couldn't help it. And I tried to show and you wouldn't let me, which is fine, but I must make you hear.
The same institution that was mocked for decades is being rebranded as their salvation. But the cultural moment has already moved.
I love you.
I love you too, Richard. But I love me more.
The women who are expected to perform that labor are no longer interested. So let them be lonely. Women are elsewhere, sleeping well, traveling, building lives that don't require permission. They choose themselves. Now the men left behind can sit in the silence they created. They can figure out how to be whole on their own, or not. Either way, it's no longer a woman's job to fix them. It never was.